everybody, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Joey Evans.
I'm Chris Yee.
Today we're taking a look at My Island. My Island is a game from writer Knizia, Cosmos Publishing. It is a legacy game in which you will be playing through a series of games in which the board and other components may possibly change permanently.
Ooh, sounds exciting.
It is one of many legacy games. I think we're just shy of 20 in existence. Maybe there's 20. I don't know. But it is a sequel to My City, which is a game from writer Knizia.
Yep.
There's a lot of similarities to them, and they're both tile-laying games. This one uses hexes. My City used squares, polyominoes. This one uses hex polyominoes.
And thanks for the review. We'll see you next time, folks.
We will. So don't worry. We're not going to spoil the game. We might say some minor things that spoilers, but I don't really feel like this game.
I don't feel like you can spoil this.
Right,
No.
at no point did we open up an envelope and we were like, wow. What? Okay, that doesn't happen, okay? So I'm going to show you the base game, and we'll be back. Each player is going to get their own board with an island on it. You'll write the name there. Up here, you'll keep track of where you can be able to cross off points that you'll get over the course of the many, many different games. So over the course of this game, players are going to open up envelopes. You'll start with Chapter 1, and each of these envelopes has 3 games in it. When you open it up, it will say Chapter 1, Episode 1 to 3. It will tell you some new pieces you get here. You get some green cubes. And then it will tell you in Episode 1 how scoring works. And then there's a rule sheet that will also come with it, which will explain in Episode 1, it tells you basically what you're going to be doing. So at the beginning of the game, and all the games have kind of this same playthrough, every player is going to have the same tiles in front of them at the beginning of the game, although tiles can change. So you'll sometimes put stickers on something to change it, but they're going to be showing 4 different terrain that's out here. You have yellow fields, brown houses, blue walls, and green paths. A deck of cards is going to be shuffled. You'll turn over the top card, and in game 1, you're going to find that piece. So everyone finds this exact piece. And it has to touch the beach. And for game 1, you're only covering the beach. And then these tiles here, these trees areas. So I might place it here. After that, when we draw a card, so this shows houses blue and yellow. It shows that piece there, which is this one. At least one thing has to touch the same thing that's already out there. So I could, for example, put this one here because I have the 2 walls touching each other. I could place this like this because now the houses are touching each other. And you're going to keep doing that. So I draw the next one. It shows me one of my triples. So houses, maybe I'll place the houses like this. And then the next one here, it's another one of these big pieces. I keep drawing these big ones. I guess I'll place that one here. Oh, there's a nice straight line. Well, that one I can place here. So what am I trying to do? Well, it's going to be different per game. At some point, you might draw a tile and know where to put it. You can say, okay, I'm going to not place that tile. If you do so, you're going to lose a point. Everyone starts with 10 points. These are temporary points, and they're going to determine who's the winner of the game to get the campaign points at the end. But I can not put that tile and then draw the next card and hope I can put that tile. Or you can stop. Once you see a tile, you're like, you know what? I'm done. At that point, you're done scoring. Houses on the beach in game 1 score a point immediately. So I put 2 houses on the beach. I would have scored 2 points for both of them. And at the end of the game, I'm going to lose a point for every beach space that is visible. So I want to cover up as many of those as possible. Now, beyond that, there's going to be lots more points. There's a reason there's houses and fields and walls and paths. They're going to have to do something. There's a reason there's 2 more types of terrain. There's a reason there's symbols here. But that stuff's going to come out with stickers. First place usually will get 2 of the permanent points. Second place gets 1. And everyone else usually gets some sort of sticker. And those stickers will make, like I said, they'll make your pieces better. Like this one turns this into a double wall. You're like, well, who cares if I have a double wall? Well, that will matter as time goes by. And then when you're done, you go to the next one. You determine a winner. You go to the next one. The rules will change constantly. They're constantly fluid rules, but the idea of flipping the cards and using those to put pieces out that attach to the same thing, those rules are going to stay in effect pretty much throughout the whole campaign. There's also an Eternal game, which is on the other side of the board, which looks almost the exact same. And it uses the rules basically that you will find from the first 9 games. So there's way more than 9 games in this. I think there's 21 games total or something like that. But the first 9 are all you need to be able to play this, which requires no stickering. You just play permanently with your tiles. So before we jump into this one, I want to go real quickly into My City. I played through almost the whole thing of that. What about you?
I've played about halfway through. It's a game that every 6 months, when I pull out an envelope, we'll play 3 games back to back, and then we'll put it away for another several months. But I look forward to pulling it out again and then going through another envelope. So halfway through, yeah, I really enjoy it.
I think it's fun.
You played it?
Yeah, I like it. In the same way, you can pick it up again. You haven't played it for a while. Roll and Build I wasn't crazy about, but yeah, I did like My City.
I don't think, honestly, I think, do you like My City? You'll probably like My Island, with a minor caveat that we'll come to later.
Yep.
They're so similar. They definitely have a different play style because one is using squares and
hexes.
One is using hexes. And in My Island, how you place the hexes matters a lot more than My City, I think, at least at the beginning especially. And as it goes through it always matters. In My City, to me, it was more of a struggle getting them in. This is not so much of the deal because in this one you just stop whenever you want and type thing. But at the end of the day, I felt like I was playing 1.5 version of My City.
This doesn't feel revolutionary. Blow the doors down, right? Same card flip, put piece out. In this one, the tiles being a conglomerate of different icons means that you're not just building out, like in My City, build red building, now build blue building, and then you want to group lots of those together. In this one, you have to be it's judicious in a different way where you really want to try to group up reds together. Well, that's harder to do across lots of different tiles. You want to build roads in a straight line, like roads. Okay, well, that's not just so easy to do. It's not one tile is a bunch of roads. So it requires being thoughtful in a different way that I found fun. I found really refreshing after having played a lot of My City. I thought that, jumping into game 1 of this, I was like, oh, cool. I'm glad that this is different. I'm enjoying what it's doing.
Yeah, I don't know why I like the island aspect of it. Certain things, without spoiling, show up, and you're like, that's pretty clever to have on an island. That part I did like, and the piggybacking and all that.
I thought the theme was really weak across the board in this.
It's not strong, but I liked it more than The City, which I've seen a million times.
Ooh, in The City, trees!
Well, no,
Cut down the trees!
I get that. I don't...
If you want to compare the theme in this one to My City,
There's virtually no theme in either.
this is a knockout punch. This is a one Mike Tyson against your neighborhood's paper boy.
You know what, though, is I'm not comparing it to My City that much. We just played Ticket to Ride Legacy.
Yeah, that's a problem.
And that's the thing that's in my head.
Okay,
And
yeah.
so-
This gets knocked out now.
This is
First round.
So this is where my concerns with My Island are. We played this, and we did not play it straight through. We played I think 3 games, and then we played 4. No, we played 3 games again. Then we played 4 games because we got tired of playing the same cycle.
Right.
We wanted to see something new each time.
Yes, one envelope. You don't change much between the 3 games.
And every game they changed the scoring. Every single game they changed the scoring in some sort of way.
Right.
And by game 5, I was weary of playing the same game, and I realized I didn't really like the base game of this that much. And I don't know why I liked My City better. My City, it was more, I don't know. In this one, I was just like, I got to put these hexes next to each other. I got to put the same thing next to the same thing. Oh, what do I need to do now? Make a group of 3 greens. Fine. And I got to the point where I almost disliked the base game. It just was boring to me, and minor changes in scoring wasn't doing anything for me.
It didn't change it because it changes it, but it doesn't change it in some revolutionary way. You're like, wow, like with Ticket to Ride or whatever, you're like,
I don't think it changes in a revolutionary way the whole game.
No, and that's a problem because you open something new, you don't get that. Because normally I like to play a legacy game that kind of either goes straight up or has those wow moments. This one is just, you're steady. You know,
It's flat,
and
yeah.
it's. I mean, if you know it going in, that's one thing. But if you're expecting, can't wait to see what they do with this mechanic. I didn't see that. A lot or if all.
I wasn't expecting anything. I played enough of My City to be like, this is going to be a flat game. Ooh, this scores ever so slightly differently now. You need to group up more things together. You need to build in this pattern. And that's fine. It's fun, right? I could still see this being just as good as My City as like, for Wendy and I, it functions well as a couples game. We pull it out, play an envelope. Something that you've said has resonated with me before about other Legacy games. I want a little more change in my Legacy games. Playing 3 games back to back that are the same, but after game 1, one player in last place adds a small little bonus sticker to one spot of their board. Play again. That feels slow. So if you really loved My City, and you were saying, I want another one of those because it functions so well for my like calm, kind of relaxing time, that's great. This is actually less stressful than My City. I know that we're comparing a lot to that one. If you haven't played that one, I'm sorry. This is not a stressful tile-laying game. Some tile-laying games are super stressful trying to make the pieces fit. And this one, you can make them fit almost anywhere, and you're like, oh, darn. I was slightly less efficient with this group of red buildings.
Well, that's the thing. It's less stressful, but I find it more disappointing. As I'm like, oh, I guess I can't do that. Oh, this worked out. I don't know. It felt more lucky.
This one seemed like more like a pleasure drive through the country than an actual race where you get those exciting moments.
Yeah, but this is the pleasure drive. When I was a kid, my dad said we're going on a drive, and I was like, where are we going? He's like, nowhere. And I was like, oh, that's fun for one of us.
Right, and that's okay. You hit it when you said there's more of this, which sounds good, but it's more. You have more of this, which is actually what you just did, but we're using this. It's really a recycling a lot of times.
Obliquely, there is one major thing, and even that I would hesitate to call major, that the game does.
We could spoil it for you, and it would not change your experience. We won't. We shan't.
Right. But I really dislike that one thing.
It introduces a scoring mechanism. This is what I'll say about it. It introduces a scoring mechanism which completely changes every other way that you've scored up to this point. And it introduces an absurd system of luck into it.
Right, in a game that's really brain-burning, yeah.
Because up to this point in the game, Chris is beating me and Joey handily, all right? Let's not pretend. He's just better. He was better at the game than we are. But once this came in, we had an equal chance.
Yeah, we really did. It got so comical in the fact that I'm winning. I did nothing to deserve this victory. But I did it.
It's the mathematical difference between randomly earning 1 point or randomly earning 5 points. And you did it. You earned those 5 points.
And when that's all truly random, but when is anything random, tilts one way, you just have to go, this is insane.
But it wasn't even that was one thing. The other thing was that whole section of the game was remarkably unfun, and they were like, we're doubling down on this.
Yeah,
and I actually think the first half of the game is better than the second half.
That is about 2/3, halfway to 2/3 through the campaign is when I lost interest. It became less fun, and it's a shame. You mentioned there's a eternal mode that you can continue to play this game after you're done with like all the campaign and legacy stuff.
Yeah.
And the rules for that are only the first half of the game.
Less than that, but yes.
Because they know.
Yeah. That second half is a letdown. When you finally open the envelope that's big and fat and full of like...
you were really thinking there's something great in there.
And there is a game changer. It's just not a good one.
Yeah, my final rating on this is a 5. I think if you took My Island by itself, take out the legacy aspect, just the game itself, I might give it a 6. It's okay. I got weary of playing it over and over again. And then I didn't like what the legacy game did to it. But if I just take, again, even if I take the base game, say the base game of My Island, compared to all other tile-laying games, blah. It's not that interesting. That coupled with a very boring legacy experience, that's why I'm giving it a 5.
Oh.
I liked the basic game more than I think either of you two. it just clicked with my brain as well. Like those first those first several games, I won very well, right? But I like that little manipulating and flipping around. But if this wasn't a legacy game, I don't think I'd be that excited to play it, right? And then you couple that with the fact that the legacy thing was like flat, like we said, and then actually sunk as it went on. I'm also giving it a 5.
Oh.
I would probably give the basic game like almost a 6 as well. But the fact that it is intrinsically tied to being a campaign and a slow one at that, I was hoping for a little bit more. I could almost recommend this for people. If you just say, I just want more of my city, I don't care what you guys say, I'm going to get it. I think you'll have fun with it. I think you really will. Until about 2/3 of the way through the game.
Going a bit higher, I'm actually going at a 6, and only because it's almost like a comfort food where if you're okay with, sometimes you want a game that just kind of, we'll grab it and do it. Like Chris said about My City takes you a year to finish. That's where this is. I think the first 9 or 10 games, I was like, this is great, I like this, but it doesn't ever achieve here, it just achieves here. And some games, that's what they hit.
Well, I mentioned Ticket to Ride Legacy. We were playing this a month or so before Ticket to Ride Legacy came out. We were playing, hey, we're going to get together and play this and play this. Ticket to Ride Legacy came back and just went in the closet, and I almost forgot about it. Seriously. And then we brought it back out, and I was like, let's finish this. That's just to show you where that kind of fits in.
Right.
And I'm trying
and no one
not...
was bugging me to play it.
Right. Well, we definitely had it in the back of my mind, like, we need to play more.
We need to finish that.
Yeah, for a job.
Right. But also trying to... I am really trying my best to separate, like, this isn't Pandemic Legacy, therefore it's bad. It's not that. It's just what we were talking about. In general, when the arc of your campaign gets worse as it goes on, that's a bad sign for a legacy game. So, yeah, not even comparing it to others.
Well, there you go, folks. That is my island. Your island will be unique, kind of. Anyhow, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Joey Evans.
I'm Chris Yee.
This is my island.
I won't take it.